Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning. And the Tashi Delis, everyone. Okay, wherever you are, Tashi Delis, everyone. Thank you. Okay. Now we begin our opening prayers, and those who have these prayers, we begin these opening prayers. If those people don't have, just really meditating, reflecting the presence of the Buddha, and then bring more joy and appreciation in the bodhichitta thought. We're going to reflect the teaching of the Buddha according to the best capabilities. So therefore, it's something that we're doing very beautiful. So reflect the beautiful attitude, joy and devotion, bodhichitta, with strong presence of the all, the enlightened beings. While we are all in that state, we begin to join these prayers as opening. Page 5, according to this booklet.
Kumza Indurasen Gara Giresen Ebe Mai Gara Ejim Ben Yushunga Suzurenem Yayadirdoim Jazasu Ugayadarela Mayana La Surwandi Paradiya Zoinjibe Merin Lomjo Angainjur Durjini Gudai Dojji Surim Jayirayana Warab Jibi Ingwenji Juji Jala Azurwandi Oh, may I do some Rase Jugon Soyundum Zeba Zavela Meya Surwandi Pardin Zavela Rimpoche Daigi Vorbe Medim Yola Kadin Jimbugo Ne Jizonde Gozondo Jingudo Saradu So Samanda Badrang the Mahund give
Glorious true teacher, precious one, dwelling in the lotus seat on the crown of my head, hold me with your great kindness. Bestow the accomplishments of bodhichitta mind.
Jomdende bara durjezum bala samzalo Bendra sado samaya Mana bala ya Bendra sado teno ba Ditane me bawa Sukte kayo me ba Sukte jayo me bawa Narado me bawa Sarva siddhi me rayeta Sarva karma sutta me Sedang shriyan kuru Ha ho Bhagavinna sarva tatanga Bendra mami manza Bendra bhava ma Samaya Sadhu Om Bendra Sadhu Samaya Mana Balaya Bendra Sadhu Deno Titande do me bawa Sukde Kayo me bawa Sukde Chayo me bawa Anarado me bawa Sarva Siddhi me Vrayata Sarva Karma Sutta me Tadam Shriyan Guru Hong Ha Ha Ho Bhagal Sarva Tatanga Bendra Mami Manza Bendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadhu Om Bendra Sadhu Samaya Mana Balaya Bendra Sadhu Teno Ba Titande do me bawa Sukde Kayo me bawa Sukde Chayo me bawa Anurado me bawa Sarva Siddhi me Vrayata Sarva Karma Sutta me Tadam Shriyan Guru Ha Ho Bhagavinna Sarva Tatanga Bendra Mami Manza Bendra Bhava Ma Samaya Sadhu Om Bendra Sadhu Om Bendra Sadhu Continue, page 7. So ye biju so ye me do da re rai ling ye ne de jem bande san ye yen de me de bro wa ye do ga nam da yen la jo barai jo e dam guru ren nam endra Kanariyadaya me zimjya namjya sambadang loye Sevda Jedar Away, Jejon, the Moya de Way, Chijan Gorolo, Gorodo, the art is doing them. With the
by offering them visualize as the Buddha field. They all send you
according to the
please turn the wheel of Dharma.
I think I am the garden to moment better than come to the Potaniza, Machago, Bajin Begon, Santa Children, Yellow, and the Gajas and Yukon. Yujung was on Roger Doronet and the Ladam, and Brazil, you love those who don't go to Jaggers and I in Yamato de Japon. Sergio Lumboda, Rajabego, Hejak Jager, Roger, some of the whole Rims all in Bemet, Bola, Jervanam, I've been the Zayan. Pumayone, Yalaga, when they even so Yera, for them, Miss Homagizo, those some about what your boy and Yagan. Quatia, Jim, Yala, the Ron, the Hedgerian, when I'm Tim Jordan, even of Yazo, Contazan, Timmy Mamma, Dallas, around the hands and ball and do them, but so you so you go out in the Juju to me, but hung random by Jesse, boy, and when you show on the loss of Tessanjo Ragon, Regida, Hunton, and a young Collegio, boy, and also went into the Doji, Pimagination, lost around the Sanchez and Bachujan. Can't together the Mali boy and I thought the bend of Ranzeva boy, it has all the day of loss of one. Chugan Bunny, so I think was on the battle of Bad, the Mongomo. Temple, your loss of one, the Hanover Sangan, in the owners of the Kunze, the Hanjam, the Kuniba, Chujas and Wallos of one day, and Jerry when I know. Parayan Yoga, has on one another, what you hear and no way of loss of one, the heritage of the Uji, I think Jam Johnson. Surrounded on Jimmy and the other brothers and Jello, he should have continued the diet to me was a young dog. Was on Jena, 100 behind you, million way of loss on the hills of the Jerusalem, a boy of Allah, and the Boom of Shawa, some of them. Jimmy John Wallace and they are on Jamra Jonas and Hagon by on a puppet, hello, the children of Jeremiah and Angela. When there and the hand of the hand or jet, oh, I'm the game one day, your head of the Benjo and Roving. You lay Dorjala, Zora, and the Jimmy Dead Jones on the highway and Angela. I am Hagam Bahan by heavy mother, Yala, Zora, and the Partisan, Pemer and Low, you and Jodorji, and you good. Sunday here, I know how to him, Genji, Yal, Sora, and the on the Sanje, Kandahina, I got a Sanje, Kone, Lake. Sahala Mehe, Yala, Sora, and the doesn't know where Lona, Chula, Ajo, and Elo, Ajo, Zinji. Tokwe had a Jehuda, the Gay and Jehuda, there's a tone at them by. Jezela has in Yellow, Hilo Juzon, or her and Yellow, Chilanda, and over her and you. Landro heard over her and Yellow, and Yajan, Sinjela, the Gandas of Jod, on the Hinjik, no, if the Kilhumber, a Jerba, cancer. Tenderdam beheji, Jan beheji, Sambranda Vadamji, Nande, Loyagating, Loading, Doji, Trum Dodi, Mayekana. Wagon je head on a Hajazamba, Tom Jagado, the Gay in the host of the Maraj and the Hachi, and Jay, Yardomebo, a Shavra Jela. Sinjinam je head on the Hadam Jana, Hadambanam Jen, and the Hazard, Sinjinam je head on the Hadam Jen. Tambanam Jen and the Hazard, Sinjinam je on the Hadam Jena, Hadambanam Jen and the Hazard. Yaraganji Hadam Beji, Saja and the number they hear the Mojaba Anabra Juma. Bangarwa and the Hejeva.
Again, good morning everyone, and good days to everyone, and Tashi Deles, Buenos Dias, to everyone. Okay. Thank you very much. Again, be together discussing the teaching of the Buddha according best capability with our joy, love, and devotion and determination is one of the very beautiful qualities to pursue and to discover our spiritual journey or the innate Buddha nature. We're making something beautiful things, make difference to ourselves, to all the beings, according the teaching of the Buddha, following the teaching, and that's what all about this 37 practice of Bodhisattva. As you read, it is nothing but teachings on the loving kindness, compassion, courage, and commitment, how to preserve that qualities in the jungles of the samsara. There's so many difficulties, challenge, and blockage one after another, but how we keep up our principle, our identity, our beauty, our quality, our inheritance, bring forth joy and peace, happiness, and respect and appreciation, harmonize to everywhere, wherever we go and wherever we are, and that is our goal. And that's, this teaching, this is how wonderful, how beautiful. This is truly one of the very special things that we can do in our lives. So therefore, again, re-strengthening, again, bodhichitta, kindness, compassion, thought. We're gathering here today and we're listening, reflecting this teaching, nothing but to really improve ourselves, to make benefit to the every living beings, and how I can do, how I should follow the footsteps of the Buddha Shakyamuni, and all the bodhisattvas, all those great masters we call great masters, great practitioners. They're not just a one time as born with great masters. They continually pursued the practice as we follow him, kept exactly courage and commitment and determination and joy and preserved that. And continue, they had challenges too, difficult troubles, but they overcome everything into the context of the bodhichitta, peace and harmonies, and bring the joy and peace, and joy and peace to every living beings. Happy now, happy future, happy continually, and that was therefore part of the bodhisattva is part of joy, part of peace, part of rewarding to ourselves, to others. It's not just a lip service. We're talking from the bottom of our heart. That's what the teaching is all about. So therefore, again, so it's so wonderful. And today we continue again as we went through these 37 practices. Among the 37 practices, if you look, I think today we are in the fourth stanzas, which is already translated into English. And again, this is again is continually as a foundation part of the practices, foundation of the bodhichitta, and support to our practice in a fulfillment of the bodhichitta and the 6 paramata practices. What we should have this. All that is explained one after another. And today is teaching is in again stanza 4th, according to this 37 practice of the Bodhisattva. Today is the 4th, I think. It is the teachings on the impermanent. Impermanent is, in a way, we are kind of encouraging to use our time and the situation something beautiful way. We're not going to waste time. At the same time, impermanent, this teaching means we're not going to grasping, clinging too much. Even though we're grasping, clinging too much, it's not going to last as we want, as grasping, as clinging want. It's not going to happen. Therefore, we have to be soft at heart, but courage and compassion and accepting the situation. So this is what it is here said. And this is what here said. So if I read this, old friends, relatives, all separated. Possessions and gain with effort will be left behind. Consciousness, the guest, will leave the guest house of the body. And therefore, to let go of these lives, this life is the practice of Bodhisattva. What this means, to live the lives of this, not grasping too much, not clinging too much. all this is going to change. No matter how much powerful we are, how much we are expert we are, how much strong we are, how much efficient we are, nothing is going to change. This is what the phenomenon existing, this nature. It's nothing mystery too. It's not just a Buddhist dogma. Buddha said that. It's something only happening to the Buddhisms. This is whether we pronounce that or whether we don't pronounce it, this is what it is. How are we going to take care of this? How are we going to be not disturb our mind, peaceful mind? And how are we going to maintain our joy and appreciation and bodhichitta thought to help it with all the sentient beings? That is not grasping, not too much clinging on this. And therefore, this is here, this great master used 3 points. This all the friends, everything will be separated. Everything what we accumulated is going to leave behind. And not just only that, but even our close one that we have, and so dear, came this since we born, which had the birth, say together with myself or me, well, we have to separate that. Not just don't mention any other things. This even have to leave this. This is called, when we reflecting that closer to this, is known as the reflecting the impermanent. Impermanent is the part of the everything. Because of the impermanent, that's why we came here, first places. If there's no impermanent, we won't be here. This is how all this change in variety things, all these things, because of the impermanent. This is. And this, for example, friend and family will be separated. For that reason, what do we have to do? What do we have to? We should enjoy with our friend and family while we are not separated. While we are together. We should enjoy. Our gathering with the families by the great master, as Khenpo Rinpoche took many times, quotations. He said, as great master Patamba Sanjis. What is Patamba Sanjis said? Said, gathering of the family and a friend is as like gathering on the flea market. Like as gathering the people in the flea markets. How long flea market last? Not going to last for a long time. It's just a short time, in a way. Well, we are gathering as friends and gathering there. What we have to do? That's what the great Master Patamba Sanjay said. Enjoy. Be nice. Be kind to each other. Be respect each others. Support each others. Instead of fighting, arguing, quarreling. That means we're spoiling our short gathering in the midst of the emotions. That's very unskillful. And we enjoy our friends and families with love and compassion, passion and courage and commitment, support of each other. That is according to Buddhism. It's a practice. That is Dharma. This is the foundation of a Dharma. This is the good conduct. It's moralities. It's a beautiful spacious. It brings joy and happy and peace to you. It brings joy and happy peace to the others. And that is Dharma. That is heart of the Buddha's teaching. Bring peace and harmony to myself, to the others, with respect and appreciation. Learn from each other, support each other. Use those gathering things as learning of the 6 paramita practices, so forth. All that. And therefore, not grasping, clinging, yet nice and kind and compassion and respect. That is the practice of the Bodhisattvas. Then, next one here said, All that we made so much effort to gathering, to have the wealth, or to property and so forth. Also, we shouldn't grasp and cling too much. Enjoy the wealth. Enjoy what you gathered. In the context of love and compassion, joy and appreciation. Let enjoy myself, let enjoy others according to your capabilities, readiness. Readiness, and not to again grasp and clinging. Each time, what the great masters you say, you make that offering as mandalas. Every time in the mornings. Whatever belongs, you make that offering mentally to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and to make with this benefit to all the beings. That means joy, bring joy and peace, harmony, and cause of that. And if we do that, we are making using of our belongings. And the same, not to grasping, not too much clinging. Clingings. Every grasping, clinging too much, what it does? It brings more emotions, more negativities, more worries, more anxieties, more emotions. Then our good time of a short life, we in a way spending in the midst of the thunderstorms of the worry and anxieties and anxious and suffering, anger, emotions, raging, we become very unskillful. Instead, kind of joy and happy and appreciation, easy, and enjoy that. That is practice of the Buddha Dharma. Using that, peace and harmony is the central column of the Buddha's teaching. Teaching to yourself, to the others. Enjoy. And try to use this to bring more joy, sustaining, practice and meditation, and do good things to yourself. And without too much grasping, then we are making the difference. We are practicing the Bodhisattva Dharmas, Bodhisattva practices. And the next one what I said here, is translated into English. Consciousness, the guest, here used as a metaphor. This is why in the Buddha's teaching, many times used as a metaphor. Consciousness is the guest. Guest house is our body. And sometimes in Gurupema Sambhava teaching said, it's a rented house. Rented house from where? From 4 elements. From earth, water, fire, wind. We rent it. But in time we are occupying that. Our consciousness becomes the occupancy of what we rented. That means what things we rented is not going to stay forever with us. That also applying before we come this earth. Our body is not. We don't have our body. We came, according to Buddha teachings, we came with our consciousness. We concepted through the karmic consequence in the mother's womb by the elements of the parents. And so that is the beginning of our house, what we rented. Consciousness is residing ever since. And consciousness, this body, rented is element. Such as I said, fire, water, wind, and earth. Earth. It is subject to very rapidly changing impermanent status. And we change it so many times. Changed all the progress since from the time we concepted, come out from the mother's womb, and then as an infant, baby, and child, and then teenagers, grown up, and then in the old or kind of like middle age, and the time of the golf, and also out of canoeing, and all those beautiful things, and then more golfing, more excitement, all these things, and then we're going to then this body will say, I cannot do. I can't do all these things now. I did my best and will leave this, because this is compounded things of these elements. It is particles all come together. It is changing rapidly every minute, every second, every moment. It is moving according to Buddha's teaching. Even we can detect it by our eye. In the subtle, impermanent, is continually moving, continually changing, shifting things back and forth, and that's it. And then it brings the gross impermanent as getting old and so forth. That. So, therefore, also not too much grasping, clinging, but taking care of this body. This body is so important. It is a vehicle to get enlightenment. And what the great master Shantideva said, this body is like boat. To have this boat, we can cross the ocean. Cross the ocean. This boat is also not going to last forever. Therefore, don't waste the time. Use these opportunities. And this body, then in the Buddha's teaching, we went at the very beginnings, the 18 endowment qualities. Is much more precious than the size of the gold like this, or diamond like this, or even the whole world. This body is so precious, so special, so beautiful, and yet fragile and delicate. Very delicate. It's it's so special. And but even though it is all, not too much grasping and clinging, and use this time. And we able to do those, all this what we went through, that was all known as the practicing the Dharma, practicing of the Bodhisattva practices. With bodhichitta in the heart, and keep up these practices, then you become the true Bodhisattva, male and females, the warriors of the enlightenment, warriors for the Buddhahood, and to benefit to beings. That is what it is. So therefore, here said, give up. That give up means not grasping, not too much clinging to this. This is all. Everything is like magic. Everything is like dream, and everything is a reflection, moon in the water. Kind of having that understanding and keep the open mind with full shining light of the love and compassion and wisdom in our heart and the mind. That is the practicing of the Bodhisattvas. So that is briefly about this fourth one. Again, this fourth one, the stanza, is thinking of the impermanent. Impermanent is so spacious. What Buddha's teaching said, if we have the realization of the impermanent, our heart becomes so soft, so tender, and more respectful to ourselves, more respectful to the others. We feel the sense of the time and everything is really precious. We're not going to think is insignificant. It's so special, kind of down to the earth. For that reason, Buddha teaching said, among all the conceptions, all the thoughts, the thought of impermanent is supreme. Even Buddha encouraged, if you make offering to so many great beings or so many like arhatas, but it's making that and thinking of the impermanent. He said, thinking of the impermanent more valuable, more precious than making offerings to so many arhatas. All this, even that Buddha encouraged how important it is. That. And many great masters, every those practice lineage masters said, if you have the really closely understanding of the impermanent, your Dharma, your life will be completely on the spirituals. Your life will be completely in the Dharma. You will come in the Dharma. And for that reason, many great masters said, thinking of the impermanent, it will make beginning our heart is more soft, more tender, more gentle, more thoughtful, that beginning, and therefore then we begin to do the good activities. That's something benefit to ourselves, others. And while you're already in that status, if you start continually thinking of the impermanent, it will continually keep our practice, on the path, on the highway. We're not going to divide it, or we won't run on the ditches. It always brings back to the track. It always maintains that. Because of that, continually of that, then final fulfillment, we will become enlightenment, realization. It really will brings. Therefore, at the very beginning time in practice lineage, Ngondo practices, what is? There's 4 renunciation thought. One is thinking of the impermanent. This is, as I said, it's not just a Buddhist dogma. It's not just a Buddhist theory that making that. Truly this is. What is this? We're not covering up things. Looking directly at the face of the reality, where things are natures on the phenomenal world. If we reflect that strongly as it is also wisdoms. It is wisdoms. It is understandings. It is knowledges. So that is what the practice is again. The next one, next one is the 4th stanza. This is now again this. Now, order to very successful, order to practice our practice become very successful. To bring more some of the, we have all those beautiful now things. In a way, we have the precious human body. We kind of detach it, have the detachment, or we have the detachment, or we give up so many attachment, grasping. We're trying to soften our heart, and as well as we have some degree realization of the impermanent, all that things. Even though all these things, what we need now, next is to bring the fulfillment of this, then we should avoid the negative influences from our close ones. Negative influences will make then what? Obstacles to our fulfillments, obstacle to our path and our achievements. And that is what he said. We should watch out always bad influence from our close ones. And that is here. When furniture with someone causes, the 3 poison increases, degrades the activities of the listening, reflecting, and meditating, and destroy the loving kindness and compassion. Then what is? Give up that companions is the practicing of the bodhisattvas. This is again is hard advice to all of us, to everyone actually, of course. It's very practical and very targeted to product fulfillment of our beautiful goal and beautiful wish, and to not let influences ourselves with the bad companions or someone that is closer to us. But the activities are kind of in that context. In the 3 poisons. 3 poisons, what are those? I mean, of course, you know, 3 poisons. Buddha used the metaphor as 3 poisons. It's 3 negative emotions. Ignorance or the darkness, attachment, and anger. These are known as the 3 poisons. No matter how big, how small, it is poison. What that means? Poison hurt to us. Poison will hurt us. Poison will disturb us. Similarly, this will disturb us. We already have these emotions. It's not something that we are free of these emotions. But if we influenced by our close ones in these contexts, what it does, it will igniting our poisons, our emotions. Then it will disturb. Not just disturb only my or me, but it will disturb to our families, our friends, our neighbors, our countries. And then, in case if it's so powerful, whole world can be disturbed. By who? These three poisons. They are the fundamental source of the whole troubles, violences, uncomfortables, miserables, sufferings in the world. We read this. You read this. I mean, it's nothing again. Buddha talking something strange, alien things, bring kind of new conception to our mind. It's true. We all, because Bodhisattva, what we like to do, we like to remove these things. We like to transform the dullness into the wisdoms. We like to transform the attachment in the loving kindness or the great compassions. We like to transform anger into such a kind and compassion, love to every living being. That is what it does. It is like medicines. It's rejuvenating ourselves, rejuvenating our family, friend, neighbor, town, city, country, whole world according to this. Truly, it is medicine. But deep, positive, powerful medicines. Healing powers, healing tools. So these healing tools kind of demolish it or decrease it or covered up and igniting these three poisons by the influence of our close ones. Then we cannot help to even ourselves. Don't mention help to the other beings by the bodhichitta. Instead we hurt him, begin to hurt him. So therefore, to the every way, looking to myself, looking to all the beings, we try to work every way to decreasing of these three poisons. And therefore, if there is a way the closer ones can influence and increase all these things, then it will. And that all the activities and bad habit and so forth, then we become whatever. If we do this, then become, we call bad habits. We demolishing the good moralities. That all. We undermining the heart core of our beautiful principles. So therefore, knowing all those things, so trying to distance with those close one who has a lot of negatives or a lot of powerful negative kind of influence of this. When that happened, then of course if you're practitioners, if we're already practicing, what it will do? Then this next second stanza says, it will degrade the activating of the listening, reflecting, and meditating. It will degrading that. Then we not become practitioners. Instead, we become the practitioners of the old habit patterns that which is disturbing to us, disturbing to the others. And what is listening? Listening is the practicing, like listening is the teaching, reflecting the teachings, teaching or the studying, listening that. This is, I mean, we went this last time, detail, and so I won't go, but this is very, in order to bring the realization, we need these three things. First, you have to listen, receive the teaching. This teaching of the Buddha Shakyamuni is not just overnight created things or the last century. This long-lasting lineage of the wisdom, the compassion from 2,600 years ago, continuing this, should be following the footsteps and path of these great masters, great practitioners. And therefore, we should learn. We have to learn. We have to know this. Every teaching is not just a strange, like we're learning something new dogmas. Every teaching is really right, sent to our heart. Everything is how to improve ourselves, how improve our understanding, how improve our knowledge and our character, our concentration, how bring more joy and peace, happiness to me, to all the beings. That is all about the teaching when we learn this. Every teaching rings to our heart, connect to our love, our compassion, our wisdoms, or how to remove our anger, emotion, and ignorance, and jealous, doubt, and hesitation, how we kind of remove those and re-strengthen all our goodness things. That's the old teaching. So, learn the expert's voice to glorify our goodness is listening. And then reflecting. Here reflecting. Listening and reflecting. That is contemplation. Sometimes translated contemplating. You're going to contemplating, reflecting. As the Buddha taught, it's not just the Buddha said and follow and believe immediately. That's the blindfold beliefs. You have to kind of reflect. You have to contemplate how it does. And even in simple ways. It's true or not. When you reflect, it just what Buddha said, what you have, it merged together, inseparable, without any deviations, even one hair between there. It's all merged as water to the water, sky to the skies. That is known as reflecting. The result of the learning and reflecting is practicing. Practices. We practice, meditate. According to generally Buddhism, and with beautiful motivation, beautiful thoughts, with then motivation, devotion, we practice. With that, practices such as Vipassana or Shamatha Vipassana, in Vajrayana teaching, completion stage practices, and creation stage practices, or according to instruction. All that is within the context of the loving kindness, the compassion, and bodhichitta, joy and devotion, courage and commitment, all the six paramata contracts that you actualize. So, if we are influenced by the close ones, that they have the larger negative influence with close ones, we will lose all these good qualities. We lose the learning qualities of and reflecting, and then as well as practicing, we distract completely in the world of the surface of these three portions. When that happened, what is happening? Physically, we become wild, and verbally, we become wild. Our soft speaking talks maybe now started changing. So physically wild, crazy activities, crazy things, verbally disrespectful, and very vulgar, and very kind of harsh, and then deep down in the heart, what is happening? Is said here, last one, completely kind of raising up or covered up our loving kindness, our compassion, completely covered up. So looks like on the surface we don't have any love, we don't have any compassion, we don't have any respect and appreciations. Become raging, self-important ego, and that even couldn't succeed there because the dullness of the ignorance and the anger and the attachment. Even we couldn't fulfill our good things. Even the ego want completely, but yet controlled completely by the ego and important. So that is the error and the mistakes of the negative influence from the close ones. For that reason here said, give up that or distance that for a while until you have the strength. Become stronger. When we do this, That is practice of the Bodhisattva. We are preparing to grow up ourselves, make stronger, so that we can help to those beings and others. We're not crushed under the forceful external circumstances, situations in that midst of things. And that is the practice of Bodhisattvas. We're preparing this. Once you give up this, when you're able to do this, next one is, then here said, what is now we need? The opposite of that. Opposite of that. We have to contract with the good friend. Good friend that we can be as, we can follow, we can see the good friend as role models ourselves. Who has love, who has compassion, kindness, knowledge, wisdom, common sense, and down to the earth, humble, and more respectful. Those are the good friends, and very practical. So that is the good friends. That will what do? It will increase our already good things. It will glorify. It will repolish them. It is like moonlight shines to the White House. As building is already white, beautiful white house. When the moon shines in the evening or full moon time, it's glorified the beauty and the splendor of that color. Similarly, the good friend. You already have the beautiful quality. You already have the Buddha nature. It's not something that we don't have. We already all those beautiful qualities. Now it began to sizzling, activating, glorifying, and then really it will make the difference. Back to you and to the others, your families, friend, everyone. We become, or you become win-win situations. You win, the others win, in the context of the joy and appreciation and wonderfuls and awesomes. That really will come. This is what contracting with the best friend. And the best friend and the best teacher. And what is this? This is then again is already translated here. I will go here. The winner. When in reliance in someone your defects when and your positive qualities grow like a waxing moon, to cherish such spiritual friend even more than your own body is the practice of the Bodhisattvas. When you got this kind of friend, role models and examples or the teachers, you should see as precious ones. You should see it is important, it is special. This is the friend that will support to you, lead to go to the beyond and fulfill your goals. Friend, good friends, his spiritual friend. Teachers in the Buddha teaching always mention the good teacher is your spiritual friend, is nothing else. It's a friend. We all friend. We all moving with that directions. Good friend is like good captains. We in the passengers, and we have good captain. That captain will lead us to the safe and smooth and ride in a beautiful journey and avoiding all the kind of like hindrances and difficulties, troubles, and every way to go to reach to the shores. That is very special. So what it does, he said all these things, so I won't go now, and he said that when you contract, it will decrease all the negative errors. It started decreasing. That means negative emotions, negative behaviors, negative conducts. It will demolish, kind of like going away, and all that. When that happens, these are the negative, all that cover our beauties is thick cloud in the sky. Thick cloud in the sky cover up that. When it start demolish or fading away, what is? Glorifying the beauty of the hidden quality of the skies, sun and the moon and star, all in the blue sky are really began to show up clearly, and all the way clear. And all the good qualities are rising as like moons. Everything is coming up. That's what called known as advancing to the path and bhumis, reaching enlightenment. Coming every steps kind of like moves really something rewarding, nice. When you look back to your life, I did something good. Standing on the present spot, looking back, I did good. And looking to the forward, and also you have beautiful plans, beautiful goal. I'm going to do something good. So past is good, present is good, and future is good. All the way good. And for that reason, and Pardo is good, next life good. And for that reason, the great master Shantideva said, if you ride the bodhichitta horse, from now on, is always good. From the good to good, even great, better. That's what called path of bodhisattvas, path of joy and peace, enlightenment. And there is nothing kind of disturbed now. You continually moving and everything. And that is, then when you find this, when you're a friend like this, then you should always cherish and respect and appreciate, even more dear than in here said even your bodies. But you should cherish and respect and kind of feel how I'm lucky, how I'm fortunate that I have beautiful friends that who can support and help, or have so many friends similar, how I'm wonderful, how beautiful. Really recognize, enjoy, and be part of the team together, move forward. That is rewarding, and that is practice of the bodhisattvas. From this on now, so that is really about this stanzas. From first stanzas of this up to this point is all foundation of the practice of bodhisattvas. All the foundations. When we have the beautiful this foundation and preparation qualities, then we begin to now practice, move forward. Rest, all this then is the part of the practice. But it's not just we practice this past 6 stanzas at one point and then kind of leave that. This is a continue our support practice to fulfillment of the bodhisattva practices, so then we keep up continually. And that is my brief talk today. And again, I thank to every of you. Thank you everyone. Thank you so much everyone, and thank you very much wherever you are, wherever you may be, and wherever you're connected to here. I'm so thankful, so grateful. Hope it serves some our practice and meditations, and at least reminding of the some degree of the teaching of the Buddhas. So I'm thankful. If we don't see before our big holiday season, I wish you happy and healthy, beautiful, lot of beautiful peace realization to all of you, and good health fulfillment. Okay, thank you. And now we do short dedication practices we have, and dedication practices, and if you don't have, if you don't have these texts, then those people who are in different places do some dedication practice. Dedication is the best wishes, good wishes. We're wishing to everyone. We started with this with good motivation. We kind of reflect the teaching of the Buddha with good motivation. Now we're concluding this practice with good motivation, wishing good things to whole world. There's no more war, no more disturbance, no more payments, no more suffering and difficulties, no more violences. There's so many peace and joy and appreciation, and everyone great understanding, really great understanding, realization, peace and harmony, how is it important to bring the good things to everyone. Because of that, and their heart is waking up to that understanding. Really wish and pray by our days. So we do this dedication prayers again. And page 7, according to this booklet, page 7, and I think whenever our Sangha members has this prayer, same thing, maybe slightly different page, but so, and page 8,
Om Sodem Benzayendem Josom Zosam Jidi Bimam Join Yene Samdea Tujian Tuzenjim Kinjia Barden Shira Turbeko Nyunju Tendren Zezen Tarzen Yom Zode Tsewang Yang Yavyam Tuzenje Bela Barazen Jam Jo Yansika Hare Rave Gurve Jangasu Binde Deva Manu Jungwen Generous Wang Tenze Jansoli Shape Karje Baradu Zenjoroshi Om Sote Echewa Rinze Bime Salapji Tonye Dube Laksana Dela Shedon Koro Samje Banjarate Sanje Mata Chole Namjara Sho. By this merit may all obtain omniscience, may defeat the enemy wrongdoing. From the stormy waves they birth old and sickness and death. From the ocean of the samsara may I free all beings. May the souls to the benefit and happiness of Buddha's teachings remain for a long time. May the victory banner the lives of the noble one and holders of the teachings remain firm. May all the temples and the monasteries and all the readings, the recitations of the Dharma flourish. May the Sangha always be in harmony. May their aspirations be achieved. The soul remedy for suffering and sentient beings, the source of every joy is the teachings. May it remain and uplift the flourish for a long time. May the all sentient beings who are sick, sicknesses, may all the afflictions arises. May all the sentient beings are always joyful. May the veterans, Lorem cease forever. May the wishes of the earth, the Bodhisattvas, all beings, the swift the fruitions. And at this very moment, the purpose of nations of earth, may not even the names, the disease, famine, or war and suffering be heard, but rather may pure conduct, merit, wealth, and prosperity increase, and may supreme in the good fortune and well-being always arise. The practice of bodhichitta in those who without it may degenerate it, in those in help it may decline elimination, always increase in this increase. Throughout the succession of the lives, I shall be
Their incomparably supreme teachings arise as the sun in the sky, gloriously pervading the entire universe. The nectar essence of all the teachings of the victorious one, the great charity, emanation of Rinpoche Sangye, greater may your profound treasure pervade the entire world. In the souls of the path, the supreme vehicle of the great perfection, unanimously praised by all the victorious ones. The early translations hold tradition of the kingdom, the victorious ones of Bodhisattva, the ponderous doctrine pervade all Christianity throughout all directions. May the great tradition of Khenpo Bodhisattva, and Dharma increase and spread throughout the three-realm world. May the appearance of the three jewels and the nine streams of beings remain inseparable and bring sublime well-being throughout the three times. The deepening mantra and Dharmakaya on the nature of appearance, sound, and awareness, the pervasive fire and the wisdom display of the Buddhas, may practitioners of the profound and secret great perfection remain inseparable from the innermost one-taste awareness of wisdom mind.
Okay, thank you again. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you again. Thank you everyone. Thank you. Muchas gracias. Buenos días. Adiós. Adiós.
Thank you, Khenpo.
Thank you, please. Yes, please. Oh, you have.
Thank you, Rinpoche, again for these beautiful instructions on how to bring happiness to ourselves and others by improving ourselves. But thank you for being the most precious of spiritual friends.
Oh, thank you.
Your wisdom